XRP is making a nice move to the upside as Ripple just received a major win in its case versus the SEC. Tether, the largest stablecoin issuer, has confirmed they will be allocating 15% of their profits to buying Bitcoin on a monthly basis. We have Quant confirmed here to be working with one of the top 4 accounting firms ranked by revenue. And last but not least, Hedera has added their 29th member to their already stacked governing council. We are going to break down all of this for you guys in today's daily market update. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Everything Crypto Show, where we keep you up to speed on the most important news moving the crypto markets every single day. Now, we have a ton to get through in today's market update, but first of all, just a quick look at the price action. We currently have Bitcoin trading around 27,000, Ether around 1,800, XRP around the 45-cent range, and we are going to start off today talking about XRP as it is up about 5.73% here. However, it was up about 10% at its peak, and it made this a nice move based on the news that a court victory for Ripple has just came out as the judge denies SEC's motion to seal Hinman docs. Now, the Hinman documents are a very big deal here as the SEC is trying to seal records of their internal deliberations following a speech made by Hinman, and Hinman was the former director of the SEC who stated that Ethereum is not a security. So the SEC filed the motion on December 22nd to seal the internal emails, text messages, and expert reports that followed Hinman's speech, basically trying to cover up the fact here that Hinman had a financial stake in Ethereum when he confirmed that it was not a security. Obviously, this has a massive conflict of interest when it comes to Ripple because the SEC is arguing here that XRP is in fact a security, and if Ripple can prove here that the SEC is biased and trying to protect Ethereum while undermining XRP, this could basically put the nail in the coffin for the SEC and give Ripple the win. So the judge added here that the Hinman speech documents would reasonably have the tendency to influence the court's ruling on a motion. And Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple here, tweeted, "Another win for transparency. Unredacted Hinman emails to be publicly available soon. Stay tuned as the lawyers work through the mechanics to make that happen." This right here is what everybody who is involved in the lawsuit has been waiting for. Ripple has considered the speech a key piece of evidence in its ongoing legal battle with the SEC, which alleges that the sale of Ripple's XRP violated U.S. securities laws. Now, this is not the only move that Ripple has been making as they announced that they did acquire Medico, becoming the sole stakeholder of the Swiss-based provider of digital asset custody and tokenization technology. So effectively, they did go ahead and acquire Medico for $250 million. And what this is basically going to do is allow Ripple to become a crypto custodian. So we know they have the liquidity hub. We know they are working on central bank digital currencies, and Ripple is now working on also becoming a crypto custodian. And it does give Ripple access to their clients, including Citigroup and BNP Paribas. It will also help the company increase its presence overseas at a time when it is still fighting off this lawsuit from the SEC. Now, very interesting timing here, as we did see recently that the NASDAQ is looking to actually offer their very own Bitcoin and crypto custody platform soon, and they are eyeing Q2 of this year for a release, so sometime within the next couple of months. And this does come off the back of other major giants like Fidelity and BNY Mellon in pursuit of their own cryptocurrency custody platform. So what does that tell you? That NASDAQ, one of the leader in stock IPOs, is actually looking to get into crypto custody. It shows you that despite what these big market makers and governments would have you believe, that these big financial institutions are very bullish on Bitcoin, on cryptocurrency as a whole, and they want to get their piece of the pie. Now, speaking of their piece of the pie, we got to talk about Tether here, who does have the largest piece in terms of stablecoin market share. And their latest Q1 2023 assurance report shows a reserve surplus at an all-time high of $2.44 billion, and they cleared $1.48 billion in net profit. This beat companies out like BlackRock, the largest asset manager in terms of profit. Now, we saw here that Paolo Adriano, I probably butchered that, but we're going to keep going, basically announced their Q1 assurance report. And this is the CTO of Tether plus the CTO of Bitfinex. And he talks about a lot here, but the main thing I do want to talk about is the fact that he adds new explicit separate categories for their Bitcoin and gold holdings, representing 2 and 4% of their total reserves respectively. So Tether confirmed they are holding about 2% of their balance sheet in Bitcoin at the moment, gold at 4%, but they did also confirm recently here that they are going to be looking to actually increase the amount of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So they say here that Tether today has 2.5 billion plus USD equivalent in company-owned excess reserves. And this means that on top of the 100% reserves necessary to back up their stablecoin, that they also have $2.5 billion surplus in cash. And this amounts to about 3% additional value on top of their minimum 100% reserves, which have been invested into their massive US Treasury bills portfolio and other investments. And their treasury bill portfolio is basically how they make a ton of profit. People give them money basically for 0% interest. Tether issues them USDT, and then they take this money and invest it in treasury bills for the yield. So from their latest attestation, Tether confirmed it already held 2% of their portfolio in Bitcoin, and they now announced their commitment to use up to 15% of its newly monthly net operating profit to purchase Bitcoin as part of its excess reserves. So no, Bitcoin is not being bought to back Tether. This is their excess reserves, as Tether is already backed 1-to-1. The total value of Bitcoin kept in the portfolio is currently well below our own excess reserves, 1.5 bill versus 2.5 bill, and our aim is to continue in the same direction, since only up to 15% of net operating profits will be used for these continuous Bitcoin purchases. Now, why Bitcoin and not something else? Because Bitcoin is the epitome of a sound and secure monetary system within its decentralized nature and scarcity. Bitcoin is revolutionizing the concept of money and challenging traditional finance. Bitcoin has defied expectations, shattered boundaries, and provides access to the global financial system to anyone with an internet connection. Now, this continuous buying pressure from Tether is going to be a very big deal in my opinion, and we're going to break down exactly why with some numbers here. So we can see on buybitcoinworldwide.com that there are 900 new Bitcoins being issued per day. And this is relevant here because when we factor in that last quarter, Tether made $1.48 billion in net income, equal to $493 million per month, and they plan on investing 15% of their profits into Bitcoin. Well, this equals about $74 million worth of buying pressure on Bitcoin, and 74 million divided by the current price of 27,000 is give or take in the 2,750 Bitcoin per month range. That is 3 days worth of Bitcoin being mined per month that Tether is buying up alone. Now, obviously, this does assume that Tether continues to make the same amount of profit. They could make less profit. They could make even more profit, which would mean more Bitcoin being added to the balance sheet. But the point here being is that Tether is once again a major financial institutions joining the ranks here in purchasing Bitcoin. And at this rate, assuming that once again profits and price of Bitcoin stay the same, which I doubt it will, but we're just kind of extrapolating this to demonstrate to you how big of a deal this is. This means that assuming that this was to continue at a consistent rate over a 1-year period, Tether would essentially own about 30,000 Bitcoin by the end of year one. We have MicroStrategy here holding 140,000 Bitcoins as of April 5th of this year, and the institutional adoption for Bitcoin is massive. Let's just say here that institutions owned 1 million Bitcoin from the total supply. While total supply 21 mil, that means that 5% of all Bitcoin is going to be owned by major institutions and, big banks, governments. And to be honest, I think that 5% is a pretty modest estimate. I could see big corporations, big institutions, entities, and governments easily owning in the double-digit percentile range in terms of the ownership of Bitcoin's total supply. So yet again, another very bullish move in terms of the adoption of Bitcoin. And speaking of adoption, I do want to play you guys this brief clip here that I found from Quant on Twitter, and this is from Oracle Corporation's Spotify podcaster. So give a brief listen to this clip, which confirms that Quant is working with KPMG, be one of the top 4 accounting firms by revenue.
When you consider that blockchain brings enterprises security, traceability, and transparency, you wonder why adoption hasn't been much broader. One reason is different blockchains can't talk to each other. It's an interoperability issue. Solving that issue is the Oracle for Startups partner Quant network. Its product, called Overledger, is a blockchain operating system designed to provide any network in the world a gateway to all other blockchains. With that power, companies can develop new solutions by incorporating features from multiple blockchain applications. Major European firms like SIA and KPMG are using it to bring blockchain's advantages to the financial sector. For instance, SIA can bridge blockchains for cross-platform applications and services like notarization, payments, and know your customers requirements. For KPMG, Quant developed on the Oracle Blockchain Platform Cloud Service, which delivered superior results to other clouds.
So there you have it. Quant partner Oracle is confirming here that KPMG, a company who is tapping into their Oracle blockchain cloud solution, has in fact used Quant with much success. So there you have it. We have Oracle, who is directly partnered up with Quant, confirming that one of their partners, KPMG, did in fact tap into the Quant Overledger. And it does also discuss some of the use cases in terms of the Overledger and what it does have to offer. Now we can see here, based right on Quant's website, when they talk about their partnership with Oracle, they say that this is going to allow Quant to engage with their global base of more than 430,000 customers. So this direct partnership between Oracle and Quant is a very big deal, but also in terms of the indirect partnerships and connections that it does create for Quant. Now, we can see here that if you actually take a look at the big 4 accounting firms ranking by revenue, there is Deloitte in first place, coming in with 59.3 bill in 2022 revenue, PwC with 50 billion, Ernst & Young with 45.4 billion, and KPMG with 34.6 billion. So you can see right off the bat here that KPMG is a top 4 accounting firm that has in fact tapped into Quant Overledger. I do believe that the Oracle partnership with Quant is going to prove to be one of the most valuable in terms of the connections that it gives Quant here to a ton of other sectors that are tapping into Oracle's cloud solutions and their blockchain platform. Now, to wrap things up, we are going to talk about Hedera here. We haven't spoken about HBAR on the channel in quite a while, but they did just announce a new governing council member today in Kofra. So basically, Kofra here, to my understanding, is sort of like a retail company that does work on the consumer discretion side of things. And we can see here that they have joined the governing council of Hedera, intending to create cutting-edge blockchain-based solutions, initially focusing on tokenization and bringing transparency in their supply chain process. So making use of Hedera's proprietary token service to issue or tokenize real-world assets and improve their transparency on the blockchain through sort of like bringing the blockchain to the current supply chain. So taking a look here, we can see that Kofra has been added to the Hedera Governing Council among some very big names here. I mean, some of the biggest ones I can see right off the bat include Google, IBM, Dell Technologies, LG, Ubisoft, ServiceNow, Swirls. I mean, some very Deutsche Bank as well, like some very big names on this list here that are on the Hedera Governing Council. And I do think that these partnerships are going to lead to a ton of adoption for this project in the future. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy this daily market update. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I hope you are all having an amazing Friday, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.